Hello, welcome back to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. Here I am thinking, not going to get to play too many games, and I seem to be posting a whole lot. This is pretty exciting stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying it. So this is a 3,000 point game, my Ogres versus my friends, Orcs and Goblins. It's fun, it's a rainy day. We're playing in his basement right before his birthday, so very happy birthday to him. And it was a really fun game. I'll just start off by saying that and apologizing for the quality of the pictures. I forgot my camera, so I had to take all these with my phone. It's kind of dark in his basement. Anyhow, we got a river running through this whole thing. I have on my left flank 4 lead belchers, who are actually only 3, and it dawns on me later in the game, but doesn't really do anything. Saber Tusk, Mornthane Cavalry, 5 lead belchers, my BSB. Iron Blaster, big unit of Iron Guts, 11 of them with my Tyrant. I decided to use a Tyrant. And I gave him the Gnoblar Thiefstone, which I think is just the raddest, greatest item around. +2 magic resistance, and you steal a magical item. It's just so cool. I have 10 Trappers. Another unit, another Saber Tusk tucked in over next to the Iron Guts. And in the far corner, some Yetis and 6 Bulls. This is his setup here. He has a unit of, well, not a unit, it's a single bolt thrower on my left flank, a big unit of Black Orcs, 6 Trolls, 3 units of 20 Night Goblins, 2 Rock Lavas, I think these are Wolf Riders on top of the hill between the Rock Lavas, 50 or so Savage Orcs in Biggins in a horde formation, a Chariot, and Spider Riders. They're far away, hard to see, especially in all this blurry stuff. But it's a pretty fun, well-balanced list. Looking at it, I'm sure he's going to have a bunch of Fanatics. He's got a level 4 caster, a level 2 caster. His general is on a Wyvern. Heck of fun. Pretty cool, too. It's just a cool model. Cool stuff, and if used right, it can do a whole host of damage. So he has less units to place, and he gets first turn. Also rolls much better than I do, and he comes and hides behind this thing in the front here. It's a Tower of Blood, perhaps, giving all units frenzy, and because he is he's a destructive force of destruction, whatever, he gets hatred as well if he's within 6 inches. That'll come into play later. Totally slips my mind, but he takes his side so he can be near it, and I think he should have put his Savage Orcs next to it. I think that would have been really the way to go. Anyways, so let's look at his army straight on. Kind of what I'm contending with. His Black Orcs are pretty mean. These Goblins are pretty mean. And I'm not really sure what I'm expecting here. He's tucked his Savage Orcs over to the side, and he's got his big unit of Trolls here in the back, which are going to be hard to get around. He doesn't have to worry about stupidity, because I'll just run into his own unit, and it won't be blocking and boxing up everything else, but it's really quite interesting. So I'm not exactly sure what to do with it. I think the plan would be to try to send some of the Saber Tusk up, get him to throw out his Fanatics, get him out in front of him, so if he wants to come at me, he'll have to run through his own Fanatics. That'll be my first ploy, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, because I'm just not certain where he's going to go with it. The Savages are always a big concern. They're over on the side, and you can't quite see it here. The little white blob, the lower right-hand corner, that's a sinister statue that's supposed to be shooting at us, and we usually forget about it. We forget about it until turn 2 or 3, second half of turn 2, at the beginning of turn 3, right before combat. But this is a big unit that I'm scared about, so my goal is going to be to get and redirect this unit, and redirect the Black Orcs, and let everything else go. I figure I can take the Goblins, I can figure out what to do with Fanatics. I'll get at his shooting units, eventually in the back there with Gorger or something, that's fine. So his turn, he moves everything up. His Black Orcs are up here. The Trolls kind of swing around behind, right, kind of ready to go wherever. He moves the Wolf Riders right up in the front, and he gets his Goblins right out in front of me. Here's the Sinister statue, and he's wheeled his Savage Orcs over to face me. Excuse me. So I bring my left-hand Saber Tusk up here, put him right in front of the Black Orcs, and he throws out 3 Fanatics. Luckily, he does not hit my Saber Tusk, who already has 1 wound from being shot at with the bolt thrower, only taking 1 wound, lucky me. And that one goes short, the other 2 go further out, so they're right in front of my Iron Guts. So on my turn, well, it's still my turn, I move the other one up, the other Saber Tusk up, he's moved up in the background, and I just move everyone forward. I have my Gnoblar Trappers in front of my Man-Eaters, my Mournfang in the back, kind of protected, ready to go and clean up whatever else is there. Gorger is not dead, don't worry, he just hasn't come into play yet, clearly. And on this flank, I move my Yetis up, ready to go either way, and the Bulls behind. Please don't mind the Yeti that's missing an arm. It was sad, I just couldn't get to go back on. I'm going to have to pin that one back on. But basically, I'm going to use those 2 units to fend off and hopefully take care of the guys in the corner. Here I lose 1 Iron Gut and do 2 wounds to another. I can't remember why. Maybe I miscast or something. I believe that might have been it. But I get Troll Guts out. This is my Saber Tusk just kind of staring down the face of the Black Orcs, ready to take the charge, do whatever. But they're just kind of ready to go. You can see all of his units in the background are moving forward. He's hidden his Wyvern behind this thing, so I can't shoot at him. So his turn, he charges me with the Black Orcs. It looks like his Fast Cav are up here, all in between mine, but he blows himself up with what are they called? With the Fanatics, and so he brings that guy back, the Wolf Riders back, and ends up putting them right in front of the Gnoblars. You'll notice he also charges the flank of my other Saber Tusk with the Savages, and I'm perfectly fine with that. They are frenzied and they'll have to overrun. He brings 1 unit of Goblins up, and I think the other one frenzies. He has some unfortunate rolls with frenzy. He's throughout the whole thing. He's got the Spider Riders that frenzied the first round, so after their Vanguard, they're stuck out there. But he reforms them, moves them over here to be in the flank, and just keep me from being able to charge him, overrun the Chariot. We had a really good discussion about what to do on that flank a little bit later on in the game, and just how to move and redirect, and where to go, and what would be the best thing to do there. So in the end, this is what actually happens. He puts his Wolf Riders out here in front of my Gnoblars. He kills easily both Saber Tusks. The Black Orcs run forward, stop 1 inch away from the Wolf Riders, and the same with the Savages and the 1 inch away from the flank of his Goblins. So this presents an interesting thing for me. So I'm protected right now from his Black Orcs, so I'm cool with that. He wanted to make sure that he was protected from just charging into the Gnoblars and taking dangerous terrain checks. But the really interesting thing is over by the Savages. So it looks to me like I should be able to charge his Night Goblins and then hopefully win and overrun into the Savages. And if you look down this line, this is the beginning of my turn, you can see I will indeed clip his unit, so I'll get an overrun, and that's almost a non-fail, and I roll high enough to reach with the Yetis in the back. So this could be pretty interesting, and lucky me, the Gorger comes on. Now, people may not like Gorgers. I think they are just rad. Excuse me. I had to take a sip of my drink. I think Gorgers are just great. They're fun. It's a cool model. They're kind of funky, and they give you something to think about. So not only do I charge my Iron Guts into some Goblins, that's just going to be pretty funny, I also charge my Gnoblars into his 4 Wolf Riders. I figure if I get lucky, I'll clean them out. He'll overrun with the Black Orcs. If not, it'll just kind of hold up that flank a little bit. So looking from my left flank, you see my Man-Eaters are here. They are set up with, everyone in the front row has 2 hand weapons, the back row has great weapons. They have Strider and Swift Stride. So I've gone away from the Scout immunopsychology, figuring why scout them if I don't have to. But, you know, Strider, Swift Stride, they can get anywhere. Maybe I'll end up trading Strider for immunopsychology. So this is the beginning of combat against the Goblins. I do cast Troll Guts just to make sure I can back myself up. I overrun. I kill them to a man, absolutely annihilate them. No big surprise there. Overrun into the flank of the Savage Orcs, and I've got my General in combat. Over here, this is the greatest thing. So I get 10 attacks with my Gnoblars. I need 4s to hit. What do I roll? Kid you not, 7. You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 6s, and 3 4s. It might be just about the best rolling of all time. It was incredible. My friend Howdy was not paying attention. I said, "Holy shit, check that out!" And I had to take a picture of it. So great. And at the end of combat, I did. I only did 3 wounds, and he wounded me 4 times. And so with my, I actually lost, but I was steadfast and stick around. His turn 2, he comes in, throws a fanatic through. He fails with his sorry, it's just too funny. He fails his animosity yet again with his unit of Night Goblins in the middle. They're forced to charge my Iron Guts, come running in, throw 1 fanatic that hits me, kills an Iron Gut, and wounds another. The other 2 get stuck right in front, and he runs into them and decimates his unit, which, you know, it's not necessarily the worst thing, because it just saves combat resolution. You know, this is what it looks like on this side. This is after that big discussion, and we figure the thing to do is he wants to put his spiders out in front of me so I can charge. He'll flee, hopefully get away. Maybe in the future he gets a little bit further so he can get away easier, and then he'll have a rear charge with his chariot, or I won't be able to charge into this big unit of savages anytime soon. So this is the way things are looking. I have a fanatic sitting behind my lines, or in the middle of my lines, right behind my Iron Guts, but I'm not too fussed about that, and I'm just pretty confident about being in combat with these savages. Over on the other flank, the Iron Blaster is there, taking shots, and big difference, his turn 3 now, I think it is, he casts Foot of Gork, or whatever, I don't know, Hand of Gork, and all of a sudden I have 6 trolls over in my flank. He had tried to cast it before, and luckily I was able to spell it this time, not so lucky, and he brings out his Wyvern and plonks it right in front of my 4, just kidding, 3 lead belchers. So, second turn of combat, and the Gnoblars defeat the Lone Wolf. I lose 2 more, but I'm excited. You can see them dancing and singing right there. If only they were painted to be that much more exuberant in their celebration. We look at the rules. According to the rulebook, as best I could see, if I get charged in the front with Gnoblars, then they take a dangerous terrain check, so that is what it looks like. And the Black Orcs are there set up to take a charge. Well, this is my turn. After combat, it will be my turn. After combat, only 1 Night Goblin, you can barely see him behind the standard here, survives. And he flees because I'm in combat. I can't try to chase him down or anything. And he's sitting out in front. That'll be tough for him to rally that, and hopefully it'll be enough time for him to run away and go through. So, my turn 3. We finally remember that this is the Sinister Statue. It doesn't do anything to the Savage Orcs, but kills both my Yetis and kills 2 Iron Guts. Yeah, kid you not, my Gorger charges into the first rock lava, and I didn't point out before, but the 6 bulls charged and succeeded in a charge against the back of the Spider Riders. They'll show up their back. They've got an open rear charge, but that's alright. I decided to charge my 4, really just 3 lead belchers into the general and the wyvern, thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but it didn't go very well. And then to get out of the way of the trolls, I charge both the Gnoblar trappers and the man-eaters and BSB into the black orcs. And sure enough, I do 1 wound with impact hits, and he absolutely just annihilated me. It was pretty funny how fast my poor lead belchers died. It was really, really, really amazing. They died really fast. So, lesson learned there. In return, I got his rock lava with my Gorger, though. Big whoop. And I'm looking at the other one. I'll be able to destroy that and then head towards this unit of night goblins in the middle. This is what it looks like. I am able to get off a boosted troll guts, which hits everything within 12 inches, which is the man-eaters, the iron guts, the bulls, and the Mornfang cavalry. I win combat it again, and he reforms to face me because of the weird, awkward angle of it all. We were just barely touching, and with my general in the way, there was almost no way he was going to be able to do much damage against me. So he moves here to come at me, but without the +1 strength in the first round, they're a lot easier to deal with. After combat here, I do lose 1 man-eater, and remarkably, I don't lose any Gnoblars. They are just, I don't know how they did it today or what they were doing, but they were doing great. And I kill a whole mess of black orcs. Man-eaters are pretty badass, not gonna lie. His turn 4, he charges his general into the flank of my man-eaters. It's going to play out. We get in a challenge with my BSB, and he charges in the back of the 6 bulls. My BSB has the gold sigil sword, so he always strikes first. Charm shield, Dragonbane gem. It's just an interesting kit, so a setup is pretty good. He goes and casts Foot of Gork, gets irresistible force, kills a bunch of black orcs, puts a wound on the general, and the thing almost sucks himself into the void. Does some wounds to me. I think he kills 1 man-eater, and my Gnoblars survive. So it's just funny. I don't know. I think this is after combat. He's did a couple wounds to an iron gut, but my what are they called? Regeneration saves are just saving me. It's been huge. Just able to do so much. I think I lose combat against a general, against my man-eaters, but I'm steadfast on it because I have 1 rank and he has no ranks anywhere. I have my BSB there, and my general's within 12 inches, so with he's with a standard discipline, and they're leadership 10, and basically I'm not going anywhere after this round. He's not going to have anything left. I may or may not survive against the general, but things are looking pretty good. The Iron Guts now having all these attacks into the front of the savages are just hammering into them. That's going to go pretty fast. I have my Mornfang still in the back. I've got my general and my Slaughtermaster still alive. The goal is just cast Troll Guts every time I can. My Lead Belcher had misfired a couple rounds ago, wasn't able to do anything. They're going to come back into it. My Bulls don't die because of the regeneration and are able to pass a break test against the Chariot in the rear, and they reform probably to beat the Chariot and then turn to face the flank of the savages. So at this point, and of course the Gorger's going to go and kill the rock lava and then be able to threaten whatever else from behind. So at this point, my opponent and friend, with a big smile, laughs about it and concedes. Another really good game. The Orcs had a little bad luck with rolling, and when they needed it, they just didn't get the rolls, so it seemed like it was really bad luck, but it was just a little bit low averages side. Anyway, it's a great game. Big victory to the Ogres. Thank you very much for watching.